Alright, here we go. What should I say to kick this off? Welcome to my whip and chat? No. Welcome to Dottin bursts. Dotting bursts are a self-discovery journey alongside diamond painting. In this journey, we will be having discussion for growth, journal type stories and talks, and plenty of diamond painting too. Let's get started. So I have a lot to say tonight in this episode and going forward. I think this will be a great journey to take. As you may know, I've been diamond painting since December of 2023. I found a lot of mental health positivity from diamond painting. And in the last, it's August now, so the last 8-9 months since I started diamond painting have been a lot of growth for me, a lot of changes, and I am committing to doing some of the changes that I have been resistant to in ways that I find adaptable to my needs. We'll get into this, and this is going to be a long journey. This might be a long episode. I could probably talk forever right about now. I don't have a script. I have some guidance questions and some ideas, but this is mostly going to be just free-form, improv type discussion, talking. We might have some more in the future. It's kind of a podcast style, maybe, or interviews or guests. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, this is what it is. And we'll have to go through... We'll have to go through the discovery process to get deeper. So if you don't know about me, I am Jennifer Lee. I am a 41-year-old female. I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I've lived in Manitoba for most of my life, except for a few years. I studied internationally in Illinois at a private art school at an art institute, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts. Other than that, I've lived in Manitoba my whole life, and I like it here. And I find that there's a lot of small town community sense. I grew up in a small rural town, and there's a lot of urban growth and things that make me proud to be part of this community locally. And I just want to continue doing my best to do self-growth. I've been using the internet since I was a teenager, and on the internet, I spent a lot of time, almost every day. I would say the majority of my days since I was a teenager, I spent in some form logging on for at least a few minutes. And part of my growth is that I want to do better offline. I want to do better online. Commitments to myself, and just using the internet responsibly, using it for growth as well right now in this phase of my life. So earlier today, I had another one of those breakthroughs where I was like, maybe I should do that challenge where they say disappear for 100 days, 30 days, 60 days, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and just work on your personal growth. But I also have the philosophy that I should start now and start with what I have, do what I can to further advance my goals. And I feel that this is kind of aligned. I'm not going to be streaming on Twitch currently. So I am disappearing from Twitch for the time being. The reason is that live streaming is very stressful for me. I don't feel that the live environment is an environment that I can handle at this time. But the growth is that I might get there eventually and be able to handle it in a better aspect. Knowing myself, knowing my strengths, knowing my weaknesses, having confidence, these are things that can help me in that type of environment. But for right now, I have a lot to get through, and I want to share the process with you. I invite you to, we'll be doing discussion questions. I'll have topics. I invite you to consider them in your own footsteps, in your own life, and your own path. I'm not a professional therapist. I'm just a self-growth interest fanatic, and I want to share the process with you guys. I'm also a diamond painter fanatic. Diamond painting is something, it is a hobby that I do that is relaxing. You kind of get into a flow state when you're doing diamond painting. So I find that it might be really good to have these discussions. And I have some guidance to do these discussions with diamond painting. So I guess where we're going to begin. We might circle back in the future. I might have to stop the video sometimes and edit it in a different order or something like that to make sense, because this is kind of improv. But what we're going to start with is self-discovery and identity exploration. Self-discovery is something that when I looked at this discussion guidance earlier, I looked at the first discussion journal question, and I said, I don't even know what that means. So the first question to consider today that we're going to discuss is, what core values guide your decisions and actions in life? And it's a big topic, because I didn't even know what a core value was. Now, core value is something that you live to be a value 24/7. It's a value that it's your personal principles, like your morals, it guides your decisions, your actions. And I wasn't aware of what my core values really were. I did some research today. I watched some videos. I read some topics about core values. I even found a list of core values, which I will link. I'll try to link everything that I talk about in this video in the description. And if I missed anything, please leave a comment and I'll try to find the resource for you. It's not my list, so I'll also list the creator who it's a like a therapist who has put together the list of core values, so we'll link to her website as well. So basically, my core values, because I was unfamiliar with core values, I decided that maybe it's time to start establishing what I want as my ideal core values. Ideal is like if I consider myself as a person, and I mean, I am a person, but I want to have these values as my core values. And they might not have been in the past, but they are what I want going forward. So I consider myself a beginner at this. I'm literally a beginner at awareness of living these 24/7, but we're going to give it time. We're going to give it time, and I feel that the reason I have chose these values is because they were what I was aspiring to in the first place, but I just wasn't aware of some of the depth of how to live or the awareness of what they really truly meant. And to me, I will explain my core values. If you feel like sharing your core values, feel welcome to in the comments. Again, I'm not a therapist, and feel welcome to only share what you feel comfortable sharing, but I would love to hear what you guys think too. And if you have diamond painting thoughts anytime, feel welcome to share comments. But we'll get into the core values now. My first core value that I have chosen that I want to live 24/7. And I've only picked 3 because if you pick more than 3 to 5 core values, it becomes very complicated. And, you know, I'm a beginner at this, of the awareness of my core values, so I don't want to overload myself right now. But my first core value is acceptance. And to define what it means to me is I want to be my authentic self without needing to lie about who I am, and I want others to feel the same way. I want to accept people as who they are. I want to accept myself as who I am, and I don't want to have to feel like I have to be different than any way that I actually authentically am. And to me, that's what it means. It might not be a perfect definition, but to me, that's what I have kind of extracted from the intentions of that, living that as my core value. I want to be my authentic self without lying about who I am. And telling myself stories about things that might not be reality or telling others, etc. I just want to be an honest and accepted person for who I truly am. And I think that means also that going forward, doing the personal growth, becoming the best person that I can be, will be more accepted than just kind of being on autopilot, you know? Like, sometimes I go on autopilot and I don't always think about my actions, which brings me to the next core value, and that is accountability. So my second core value is accountability, and I think accountability is an incredible one to choose because I did research on this today, and accountability is sometimes confused with responsibility. And responsibility is taking responsibility for your tasks, but accountability is taking your responsibility for your results and working to improve them. And I feel that that is really important. And that works in a professional sense, but it also works in a personal sense, on a personal level. We make mistakes, and if you don't take accountability for your actions or your mistakes that you've made, or you don't work to improve on anything, then things don't ever change. Things will never grow. You'll never achieve, you know, if you say that I don't have an example. I'm a beginner here, you guys. I'm a beginner. But yes, I am working to change. I am working to grow. I am working to be accountable and take accountability for my actions, for my results, for just the things that make me accountable to my goals, or just like not letting autopilot take me unmindfully to other places, basically. I do have mental illness, and a lot of the times I have been kind of in a victim mindset with it. And this is another part of being accountable, is that I don't want to be caught up being a victim. I don't want to be caught up living a victim lifestyle. I want to be accountable to grow from my circumstances and from, wait, what number am I on? 35? Okay, good. Okay. So I want to be accountable to produce that self-growth in myself. And I can't change the past. I can't change my circumstances until I get out of a victim mindset and work with my real, authentic self. Like reality. Like, mental illness will be a challenge for me, but I don't have to be a victim of it. And I think that that is a really good recognition for me, or just awareness. And going forward, the more discovery that we have in ourselves, or at least in myself, I will be able to break free from a victim mindset. And I feel like I've already made a lot of progress today. And my third core value is adaptability. And adaptability is kind of a really big topic. I started researching it, and I started finding out really cool things that like incredibly interest me. And adaptability is important to me because the world is changing. Communities are changing. Everybody wants a healthy community. Everybody wants a healthy world. We do. And if you don't, you're probably not doing personal growth. But I don't know. I don't have the knowledge to say that that's true or not. But I feel like we all want to do our best to be our best and to have safe communities, safe homes, and safe lives. And I don't know, maybe other people are different, but for me, safety is a really big thing. But being adaptable is more than just the world changing and reacting to change. It's like recognizing that, well, it kind of is that. I don't know. To me, it's adaptability is working together with my other core values or other people, community, to help change the world. And the accountability comes in where we work to improve, we work to do the self-growth. Reacting to change is going to be really important. The world and just life is just changing. Like for me, on a personal level, I have a lot of ongoing medical issues that are pushing me into phases of my life that I didn't really predict. And I'm not saying that I'm dying. I'm not dying that I know of, because the doctor has never told me you're terminal or anything like that. But I'm also saying that, like, I have health conditions that I need to address. And they're pushing me into phases of my life, like, as a woman, you know, approaching menopause. I have some medical conditions, like I have a cyst on an ovary, and I have a fibroid in my uterus. And I also have lymphedema. And this isn't a checklist, but these are things that affect my everyday life that have changed my world. And until I accepted them and learned to be adaptable to the needs of my changing body and my changing self, then I was very resistant. I wasn't very adaptable at all. And it took a long time to accept that. And I think it's taught me a lot about being adaptable. And I actually moved into an accessible apartment so that I could have more accessibility in my life. And taking accountability is that I have to make sure that I follow up on medical appointments and stuff like that too. And so all my core values are doing it's guiding my decisions and actions towards self-love, self-care, which taking care of myself is love, and helping also my community, my family, my neighbors, and just my surroundings to be a positive place for me and others to feel safe and change the world. So I'm kind of doing a 100-day reset, but I'm also I kind of feel like disappearing for 100 days altogether is not realistic for me at this time. I do feel that pulling back from some of my commitments or being more aware of where I can improve or spending more time offline is definitely needed. So there is changes happening. I have a very itchy side. I'm just itching. But this is my core values that are guiding me forward. Do you have core values? And if you feel like sharing your core values, go ahead. They're interesting to me. There's a huge list, and like I mentioned, I'm going to link the list or the author of the list in the comments so that you can find out information about that too. There's a really good video that I watched. She talks about, and I forget her name, unfortunately, we'll have it in the description. She has a litmus test for core values, and for each value, if it doesn't pass the litmus test, then it's probably not actually a core value for you, and it's really good. The next question, moving on, that I was going to address: how do your personal beliefs influence your relationships and interactions with others? And I think that the number one thing is honesty. Honesty is so important to me right now, and it's sometimes a really big struggle for me. Being honest is being able to be honest and be authentic, and being authentic to me is being honest. And the more honest that I can be means that I can kind of let me see how to phrase this. I can just feel more comfortable knowing that the truth is, I don't have to keep track of the accountability of my lies. Like, I don't have to follow little trails, because I'm taking accountability to know that I've been honest, and I will be honest, and I'm doing the work to continue forward, knowing that I'm not tracking a story. that I've made up or told myself. Instead, I have to be honest, and I can know in all honesty that through just, I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm kind of stumbling over the word, but like, it's like memory is associated with it. Like, if you tell stories as reality, your memory and your reality get really, really warped. And I know this because in the past, as a teenager, I started lying excessively. And around 2009, 2010, I started a journey of honesty. And I'm not a 100% honest person. I still tell white lies. I still have struggles where I feel I'm put into situations where I tell lies, and it's a struggle for me. It really is. And it gets easier through time, though. That's the thing, is that it was really, really challenging to sort out for many, many years. But it gets easier, and when you are honest, and when you go deep with your honesty, it starts to kind of work out. And you start to realize how grateful you are to be honest, and to be able to know that you don't have to hide behind stories to be authentic or to feel accepted or to be your true self. And you find community along the way, and I think that you find just your path when you are honest. I can't see a path forward for someone who's lying, because it would be a very rickety path. It would be a very shambly, put together in a kind of assembled, crappily type way. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that acting is bad with this, because sometimes I think about acting as lying. And I think acting is okay as long as you know that it is a fictional situation. But if you are passing off acting as reality, that is a form of lying to me. And I have a large struggle with that, because there is a lot of people who do that to protect themselves and their boundaries and everything like that. But on a core level, honesty has to be, like, for me, honesty has to be who I am. And that's how I get my growth and my change. And that's how I feel I make the most impact, when I am honest. And when I truly tackle things is when I've been honest, and I can look back and reflect upon the honesty and see how it differs from maybe stories I said in the past, or what I wanted to say instead of what I actually know is to be the truth, and such like that. And it helps you identify issues too. Like, I'm an overthinker. I'm a very big introvert. And I do think about the things that I've said. I run them back in my head, and I talk about them to myself. And so those are some of the those are the way my personal beliefs influence my relationships and interactions with others. Being accountable for my lies has been a really big it's been a really big journey for me. It affects others, because I feel strained relationships when I even tell like little white lies. I know something is off about the relationship, because it changes the relationship when you aren't honest. Anyways, we might be able to talk about that more in the future, but the next discussion question that we have for today, and this is 30 minutes right now. In what ways do my values align with or differ from my friends and culture? One thing, I know this is a loaded topic, but I want to mention that I am agnostic. I am agnostic because I feel that I believe that there is a higher power and a higher being or something that created. There's just something that's out there. There's just something bigger. There's a bigger, maybe subconsciously connected, or, who knows. But I don't subscribe. I don't know if subscribe is the right word, but I don't have the interest to follow a Bible or a gospel or a preacher or something like that. Like, I find that there can be very good advice from people, and accepting people that are religious is okay, and things like that too, but you'll never find me in a church. I actually don't like churches. I absolutely just have to accept somehow that churches exist, because I don't find them beautiful. Lots of people think they're very beautiful. I don't find them beautiful. I cringe when I think of them. And this is my resistance. I remember things like the smell of the dirty pews maybe not dirty, it's just that it's like mothballs, like when you go into a, oh, there's a square right here. When you go into a church and it smells like mothballs, and almost every church I've ever been in is like this. It just feels like, some people talk about not liking the smell of hospitals. I don't like the smell of churches. And it doesn't mean, but then I think about churches and I think about community, and I think about how it would be nice to be part of the community, but I don't want to go to church to listen to about a Bible story. I'd rather stay home and watch YouTube videos, But connecting with people is important, and finding ways to connect with people that are wanting to connect with you is also important. So, my values differ from my family. I don't really know. I'm hoping that my family can watch this content and kind of understand me better too eventually someday. But I don't want to offend them, because they're on their own personal journeys as well. And we all have our own paths. My family is growing all the time and changing, and we struggle, and then we find ways to get through our challenges and everything like that. And I don't feel that it's fair for me to judge my family in ways that I have maybe in the past. But I also know that I'm taking responsibility to make sure that they feel the space that they can grow into. Because my parents are in their 70s, and they're entering new phases of their lives all the time too. And I'm not going to talk about what they're going through in their lives and stuff like that right now, but I'm so grateful for my family. I really am, because even when I've had a victim mindset and I'm like, oh my God, all these horrible things that happened in my family years. But it's not like that at all. I'm grateful for my family. They've been very supportive of me. They're one of my only financial supports currently, if not the only financial support. at this moment of this video. It might change in the future, but they've been very helpful just in family ways, you know, in caring ways. And sometimes even if it's just like, I don't always enjoy their hobbies. I don't like, okay, so here's one thing. My mom likes to watch The Amazing Race. She loves The Amazing Race. And I like the show. I used to watch it. But I don't have TV service. And so she talks to me about the episodes. And even though I don't have TV service and I don't really care to watch the show anymore, just hearing my mom be so passionate about the show and the characters, and it's a reality show, the people that are participating, and she talks about the challenges and everything and the places they go in the world, and it's so wonderful that my parents are alive, that I can experience the show through her instead of watching it myself. And I don't know if that's how values align or differ from those of my family and culture, but I think that that's my adaptability, is just being able to accept that I differ from my family, and I don't want to watch TV all night and stuff like that, but I do activities and hobbies that they don't have interest in too. And I don't know, I'll consider this topic some more, but it's kind of one of those topics that are hard to talk about because it involves other people in my family right now. This diamond painting, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about the diamond painting. It is Love Is Love Lionesses from Diamond Art Club. And it's almost complete. I just have this row left to do, and I'm about 80% of the row to do. So it's a beautiful painting. It was released around February of 2024. And I've gotten asked a few times if it's a Lion King painting, but it is not. It's from Dionne Ong. And Dionne Ong has kind of I don't know a lot about it, but it's like an ongoing series of characters. And it's like a comic or a graphic novel kind of. And they're really cool. Some of them are really like sad, and some of them are really cool and happy and emotional. And so if you do like that, I know that it's on YouTube. I mean, it's on Instagram, but Dionne Ong, and I'll try to link it in the description as well. I'm planning on continuing this row. I'm going to end this episode in a few minutes, but, oops. Okay, let's talk about this part of the painting. This part of the painting, it has text, and it says Love Is Love, and it's in a really cool text because it's like pixel text, and I think of like Courier and typography like that, and coding typography, and I decided that I think I'm going to use square drills for this one. Now these are the same color as the circle, because this is a round drill canvas. These are the same color as the circle drills for this area, but they're square. They're from another painting that I had that I saved. And I think I'm gonna use the square ones for the text so that it looks solid, like text would be solid. And I think that's going to be really cool. I don't know. We're going to continue working through these questions. I'm going to reflect on this episode and come back in the future with more of this discovery journey. And I'm going to continue working on my diamond paintings. You know, I'll work on different diamond paintings through the series. But, where am I? See, this is the perforated. This is where the plastic is still attached, but you can't see it. And this is the part that's open and exposed and sticky. And I'm trying to make sure I don't get stuck to the sticky part. So, I hope you guys can also find humor in this. Honestly, please do find humor in it. It's sort of a hard thing to explain, is humor. Because I love the idea of making jokes, but I hate the idea of being laughed at. And I'm trying to be more accepting of that because I know laughter is the best medicine. And so please feel welcome to laugh at me, you know, because it actually is part of my experience too in growth, is being laughed at. And it's not really being laughed at, it's laughing with me, because I do intend to be a funny person. I do intend to not take myself too seriously, yet seriously enough that I am doing things like personal growth. And I want to be honest, it just feels good to be funny. It does. It feels so good to be honest and have people laugh at your honesty because they've been through something that they can relate to, or they just have never been through anything like that and they just can't fathom, and it's actually like a hilarious experience for them to imagine. And imagination is such a wonderful thing too. So we're sharing here, and we're all sharing and just growing. So this is Dottin bursts, and I'm trying to make sure that I can say Dottin properly because I have trouble saying some words. Dottin bursts is a self-discovery journey alongside diamond painting. We'll be having more discussion for growth, journal type stories and talks, and plenty of diamond painting too, again in a future episode. I hope you guys have a great night and enjoyed this. If it's daytime, also maybe you have a great day too. I hope everything goes well for you today, and I hope you have a positive day. Feel welcome to share comments, concerns, questions. Everything will be linked in the description, and if something isn't linked in the description and you feel like it was an important topic that we talked about and there's a resource or something, just drop a note in the comments and say, can I have that resource, or can I have a link to something like that, and we'll get you hooked up. Because, I am a solo entrepreneur here. I'm just a solo growth fanatic right now, and I'm working on this project by myself, but I have a lot of guidance along the way, and we're all a big community on this planet. So anyways, have a great day, everyone. Take care and bye.